Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Financial advisor Scott Beasley knows time spent with family is everything. As a founder of Beasley Wealth Management, his mission is to give clients the freedom to enjoy time with family without the burden of financial concerns. A local of Lawrenceburg, Scott deeply values building relationships with clients, ensuring they make informed decisions concerning asset management, tax planning, and retirement planning. Offering a free initial consultation, Beasley Wealth Management helps clients pursue their aspirations with confidence. Welcome to Employee Resources Credit Union, where you're more than just a number, you're family. We provide financial solutions that rise above those of traditional banks. With roots stretching back to 1964, we've served 4 generations during constant industry changes. We're known for our low fees and incredible rates. Join us and experience the credit union difference. ERCU, not for profit, for service.
LUS is committed to our customers, from providing and maintaining energy-efficient utility services to friendly, helpful customer service. LUS is there. At LUS, we're always challenging everything we know, every day. We strive to improve efficiency and reliability while focusing on our responsibility to our customers and the community. It's our promise to provide dependable service to our customers every time. Because we don't just work in Lawrence County, we live here too.
There are now more ways to save at Quick Mart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at Quick Mart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
C&B Linene fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you, because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linene is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linene. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linene.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome everybody here to X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linene. AJ Good, joined alongside by Michael Marks. And Mike, we had a eventful, to say the least, night last night. High school baseball, high school softball. We had a walk-off. We had a near walk-off. And then we had 2 really good performances by Loretto and Summertown baseball. But wow, what a wild night all across the board for our teams.
Yeah, I'd say Loretto and exciting pitching, and well, both of the games in District 9 AA baseball. Loretto and Forest, Summertown Community, 2 really good pitching battles, and then you had almost the greatest comeback, one of the better comebacks I would have ever seen last night with LCHS baseball. The Lady Cats fell to a very good Lincoln County team, but Loretto, the Lady Mustangs, able to get a fun walk-off victory on senior night, so it's always good to have a win and a walk-off on senior night to make it that much more emotional.
And especially since they struggled this year, and they go down into that, and they were down 8-3 at one point, and they come back, they have it 8-5 going into the 7th, and they string together 4 runs. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's start off, Mike, with your game over there at Loretto. Really good win there for the Mustangs, as they were able to top Forest in game 1 of a very pivotal series. Loretto looking to take
leader in this season, district opponent that's the level of Forest. Rockets come in at 13-6 on the season, and 3-1 in district play, and those 3-1 was kind of what was the exact same record that the Mustangs had against those similar opponents. But man, Kason Springer came out and had a gem. Complete games, goes all 7 innings, 4 hits, only 1 run allowed, 12 strikeouts to only 1 walk. But listen, Reed Gentry for Forest was lights out as well. Went 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 8 strikeouts to 2 walks. But the Mustangs were just able to. I don't want to necessarily say they got the bats there because all 4 of those runs, none of them came off a hit.
I was about to say, the guy had a really, really good outing, but he also threw a ton of poorly timed wild pitches.
Yes, I would say he had the balk that scored the first run of the game, and then the 2 wild pitches later that ended up scoring runs 3 and 4. He had a little bit of trouble with his high fastball command, but other than that, he was lights out. The 8 strikeouts, the only 2 walks. Had the Mustang batters guessing, but listen, Mason Tidwell got on base twice. Casey Springer reached base twice. Raleigh Ellis reached 3 times, and those 3 really were the catalyst last night.
Yeah, and, hey, you're not going to win every game 10-1.
No.
You're not going to win every game 5-0. Sometimes you got to go out and just take what the defense in the put out the football metaphor. We're just taking what the defense gives us. Well, if the defense allows you to get a runner on third and throws a wild pitch, go home.
Exactly, yeah. And that was honestly, that gave the Mustangs a bunch of free bases because they didn't have an extra base hit. You had 4 singles and 2 walks there. But I would say Mason Tidwell had 2 stolen bases. Casey Springer had 1. Really good to get the guys moving on the base paths.
Absolutely. And now we figure you're sitting there in the sole possession right now up the top. You go on the road. We got one of our partner broadcasters going to be streaming that for us. Those guys over at Forest are awesome.
Yeah.
So we will have coverage of that. It'll just be on a different network, and we've worked with them before, and we've helped them out as well. So that's what we do here in the South. We help each other out. But that's a big one tonight. You win that, you sweep, and I think you said it guarantees somebody in Lawrence County is going to host that district tournament. But if you sweep it, it looks like that's coming to Gary Land Field.
Yeah, I would say you got Loretto and Summertown each with 2 losses. The Mustangs, if they beat Forest tonight, Forest would drop to 3-3 in district play. So you'd have 2 teams, barring a Summertown victory tonight. You got 2 teams with only 2 district losses, both being Loretto and Summertown.
Yeah, so I got to take care of business tonight. Got Mason Tidwell on the bump. Maybe the offense will start to break out some things, and hey, you got a really good arm on the mound, and you got an offense and a defense that are figuring things out. This is a dangerous combination.
Yeah, and this is a team that's I don't think Zach Curtis has handed me the same lineup card 2 days in a row. I don't know if he's handed me the same one 2 times this season.
He didn't last year.
Yeah, so he's really been mixing things up. It seems like some guys have really found their home at some spots, but still messing with the batting lineup a little bit. But once he finds a combination that works, that's going to be the one that he throws out there.
Well, speaking of really good performances, Summertown, their 2nd district shutout of the night last night, beating Community 3-0, getting all their runs in the first 3 innings, and Jackson Bennett, what a great Braden Keaton. That's what it says up here. I just assumed it's Jackson. I think they're saving Jackson for today. But Braden Keaton goes out there, shuts the door, and they pick up another shutout district. Summertown
3 hits, I think 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. Win a complete game and only 78 pitches. That's somewhere amazing. Around there, which is incredible. Wow. But I would say I saw that kid pitch against Loretto, and he shut down that offense the first 4 or 5 innings he was out there. When he's a guy that if he gets going, he is an excellent ground ball pitcher.
And they play great defense. They didn't run themselves out of innings like they tend to do. I think they're starting to figure some things out.
Yes.
They're like kind of like that wild horse or that wild buck that you just got to, I hate to use this term, but you got to, whip them a little bit. They kind of like see the error of their ways.
Yes.
I think they've seen the error of their ways, and it's turned out pretty productive for them.
Well, they went on a 3-game home stretch, AJ, where they gave up, I believe it was 41 total runs in games against Columbia Central, Eagleville, and Loretto. And since then, their pitching has been outstanding. They, like you mentioned, they've seen the error in their ways. That pitching has really picked it up, and with their offense as dominant as it can be. And it was held a little quiet last night. I expect a big performance from the Eagles tonight.
But they got clutch hits when they needed to. Defense and the pitching shut it down when they needed to. If they get the sweep tonight, they're sitting up there tied with Loretto.
Yes.
Things are going to get really, really interesting because Loretto will be done. Summertown has Forest.
Yes.
And I think Community's got Cascade. After that, I'm just doing process of elimination.
I think that is right, though, yes.
Yeah, but, also high school softball last night. Lincoln County is just good. They got D1 players. Lawrence County, did all they could to keep it to where it was. They got some big hits to kind of make it close and threaten them a little bit there. But hey, they're at Marshall County tonight. That's a big game. They're sitting at 5-1 in their district. They get that win tonight, and you're sitting at 6-1.
Looking pretty, yeah.
You're looking really good.
Yeah, I would say talk about hosting a postseason tournament. Listen, I would say it was a tough loss last night to Lincoln County, but you're 15-11 on the season. You're 5-1 in district play, which is the most important, and that wasn't a district game. You were able to see a really good team to help your team better themselves, and you got a district opponent in Marshall County coming up tonight.
That's really big. Speaking of district, Summertown will be back in action. Maybe the biggest outside of Loretto and Forest and baseball, and obviously Lawrence County and Franklin. Oh, I haven't even mentioned that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that one.
In baseball, that's big too as far as hosting district tournaments. This one's really big. They haven't faced each other yet. They're going to face each other tonight, and then some point next week. This is huge.
Yeah,
I mean these are the two best teams in the district. The two teams are probably going to move on to the region tournament. They might end up meeting each other in the region championship and go to sub-state. This is a big game tonight.
Yeah, and it's fun when you have two juggernauts like this in the same district, and it's even better when their regular season matchups are towards the back end of the season because these teams have been able to improve. I mean, you look at Summertown comes in at 20-4 on the season, 4-0 in district play. I mean, this is like we mentioned it last week. This is like a heavyweight boxing fight, and you just gotta you're just gonna sit down and enjoy it. Honestly,
we break out the UFC guy.
Yeah,
it's time.
Yeah, get Bruce Buffer out in Summertown tonight.
Do it like he does. It's Michael Buff. Is it Michael?
Michael that does the boxing and Bruce does UFC.
UFC. Oh, I like Bruce better. No, I like them both.
Yeah, they're both great.
Bruce is just like all of his antics, and I love watching my son trying to do it because he gets really amped up. I was like, yes, it's time. And then how about a big one for the Loretto girls? We sort of mentioned it already, Mike, but big win for them last night. Come from behind fashion and walking it off on senior. Lady Mustang.
Night. It's good to get a walk-off win on senior night. Again, we mentioned how emotional it was, and it was really a back-and-forth game the whole way. Lexington got out to an early lead, then the Mustangs came back, and then Lexington really extended their lead in the middle innings. But you could tell with the way the Mustangs bats were performing that they were never down and out of that one. I would say I believe cut it to 3 or 4 going into that final half inning.
8-5 going into the bottom of the 7th.
And I would say you kind of just had a feeling they had put up 2 runs in the 6th, and just an outstanding win. And it was fun to have the park loaded last night at Loretto. I would say you had all the softball people come over to the baseball game afterwards. It was just a fun night, and good to see the Mustangs and Lady Mustangs each pick up a win.
And their bats.
Yeah.
They were peppering the wall last night. Jesse Chance, Breeley Winters, little Breeley Winters just crushing the ball last night. And it wasn't like, Lexington made a bunch of errors. Actually, I don't think they made any
they made a single,
They were all hard hit balls down the line, off the wall, up the middle, good base running, and taking advantage of a couple mistakes, and that wasn't a fluke what they did last night.
No, and how much momentum does that build tonight in their district matchup against Forest? Forest and Cascade and Loretto are. It feels like kind of all fighting for third place here with being stuck in there with Summertown and Community, but it's a big game nonetheless. It's going to have seeding implications, and what a win it would be if the Lady Mustangs get back-to-back wins
and use that momentum that you got from last night and just kind of carry it over. You got to get a district win. I think last night was big, kind of just for their confidence. But you need to get a district win, and you need to prove to everyone, okay, we're not going to be the homecoming game, so to speak.
Yes.
So now moving ahead, Mike, back again. I'm a TV producer's nightmare. We're going back to high school baseball in Lawrence County. Corey Rochelle came in here earlier, and you said you couldn't believe it when I was talking last night at the game that they were down 8-0 going into the bottom of the 7th. Score 7 runs, tying run at second, and then the winning run at first when the final ground out to end the game. But they batted around in the 7th. And, Franklin County kind of rope-a-doped them a little bit, to use a Muhammad Ali term. Lawrence County throws their ace and Logan Mays. You're thinking you're going to see their ace, but they bring out their number 2, who, by the way, Colson Kelly did an incredible job. 5+ shutout innings. Bullpen did all they could to kind of hold it together. 5 plus shutout innings with no hit ball as well. And then the first guy that comes out of the bullpen gives up a couple runners and a hit. The run comes in, then they bring in their closer, their big guy, the high velocity guy, and it was like.
It looked like they looked ready for him.
Jack Emerson doubles down the line. Brooks Durham, a no doubter, 2-run shot over the fence. Then Jake Moore hits a hard hit ball single. Then Jack Story on a 3-2 count to Hub Maddox. It's a hard hit ball. He hit 2 of them last night, right? The center fielder, Jack Story, a CNI single. Logan Clayton just crushes a ball into the gap, and then Braden Morrison hits one, a hard hit ball to the left side.
Left center.
I guess they just saw velocity and just said, okay, now it's time to turn it on.
Yeah, I'd say unfortunately too little, too late. But that's got to build some confidence going into tonight. One, you took out their closer, so to speak. I mean,
40 plus pitches, so he can't pitch tonight
or tomorrow. Yeah, so I would say you've got him locked down, and it is going to be their ace, but it's a guy that velocity wise you were preparing for, and that's always the fun thing with high school baseball is usually your Monday and Tuesday starters are a little bit different, and if you're preparing for one and see another, it can be a little bit disastrous, which it kind of was last night for Lawrence County. But again, I think that they're going to get a big comeback win against Franklin County tonight.
Playing the best pitcher in the district, a lot of people are saying. I think Logan Bass could certainly put his name up there. The ace of Tullahoma can certainly put his name up there. So we'll see what this kid brings. But if last night was any indication, they know that they walked out of there barely with a win, but a win's a win. That's all that matters. And on the other side, it's like, okay. And again, this is a thing, Dave, in these games where they've had to come from behind, they've come out flat. They haven't come out with the right energy. The other Franklin County's dugout was loud the whole game until the seventh inning.
Yep.
They got really quiet in the seventh inning. Your dugout is making a ton of noise. Like, bring that over to the line. No matter what, keep the energy going. And you faced aces before and you beat them. It's time to go out and do it again.
I was about to say, it brings me back to thinking about that Tullahoma game one, when you went out there and saw their ace and shelled them. I mean, just to put it nicely, why not do that again? You had such a good game last night, and you take out their ace. I mean, it could just be batting practice at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So, especially I think it was 2 years ago, they went up there and put up almost 20 runs in a game. So
no time better than the present.
Yeah, let's go get W, and that puts them at 5-1. 5-1, you're right. 5-1 within the district. You're sitting pretty to host a district tournament. And again, all you got to do is split with
Marshall
County, or if you sweep them, just take care of
it.
Just beat everyone. And take care of business.
Like you mentioned, the good thing with the win tonight, they will have all pretty much locked up first place. They will have taken down second place and third place. So. Got to be a good feeling heading into that final series if you can pick up the win tonight.
Well, Mike, would switch things over to some college football. UT had their spring game. Not that anyone know it. Or could watch it, but they had their spring game last night.
Yeah, it was a fun. It was glorified practice. I mean, it was I think the opening kick, so to speak, was at 2, and there were people walking out of the stadium at 3:30. So it wasn't. It was just a nice way to go outside and get sunburned, I guess. But listen, I will say it looks like it is a 2-horse race at the quarterback battle between Faison Brandon and Ryan Staub. The transfer from Colorado. McIntyre was running with the third stringer. So, but listen, Faison Brandon looked extremely comfortable in the pocket, and this is coming from somebody that watched Nico's first spring game.
Yeah.
Eerily similar with the way they move around the pocket, but it does look like Brandon has a little more touch on the football, and that was always Nico's problem. It was airmail and everything. But obviously he's got a lot of spring football ahead of him, a lot of summer ball ahead, and the fall as well. But the defense looked good too. I'm actually really excited for this fall coming up. A lot of people are a little cautious, no new
every reason.
Yes, new quarterback, going to be some new receivers,
new coordinator.
I would say new entire defense pretty much, and one of those guys having a tough time showing up.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you about the what's going on with that situation.
Yeah, so it seems that Chaz Coleman is homesick. That's the best way to put it from what I've read.
Paying this guy $3.5 million.
And you paid him a lump sum of money. But he's from Ohio. Played at Penn State last year. Was about a 3-hour drive from home, and now is somewhere in the 6 to 7 hour range from home. So he's been struggling a little bit with that. But again, he is a young guy, just a sophomore. I think that's something they're going to be able to work out. Everybody on Twitter is immediately just, we're paying this guy $3.5 million. Just cut him, cut our losses. It's like, guys, calm down. It is April the 11th when that game was. It's going to be fine. Get it worked out, and he will be a good football player in the fall.
And you're going through the Nico thing this time of year.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it was a year ago yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
So, at least now we have a quarterback. Hopefully, in Faison Brandon, and hopefully we don't have any more NIL troubles. But it's college football today. That's never going to be not an issue.
And transfer portal is working out really well for the men's and women's basketball team over in Knoxville, getting some pretty good players. And the panic's starting to set down because I think people are starting to see what Kim Caldwell's bringing in. They're going, Okay, yeah,
it's like, oh wow, another player averaging like 15 points. Yeah. Okay, that's you get a lot of those. I think that fits her style of offense, the running and gunning, getting everybody a bunch of shots. But I think the men's side has a lot more cause for excitement potentially. Right. Already picked up Day-Day Ames, a transfer guard from Cal. He's extremely electric. Tyler Lundblade from Belmont, extremely good shooter, and then you got the big man from Loyola Chicago. Mm-hmm. But a couple of more guys to keep an eye on. Juke Harris from Wake Forest was over 20 point per game guy. Tennessee was second in his recruiting out of high school. They made an in-home visit, I believe, yesterday. Okay. So there's got to be a little bit of positivity coming from that. And then another guy to keep an eye on, Jaden Harrelson out of Notre Dame, was a former McDonald's All-American. It looks like those two may be a package deal, and if you can get two guys like that, they combined for close to 40 points per game, Rick Barnes saw what a good offense can do in the NCAA tournament, saw what Michigan was able to do to Tennessee, and I think he's wanting to build a similar style roster to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Michigan's already rebuilt their roster and they're ready to go. And I saw someone make the comment the other day. We don't. It's going to be hard to build blue bloods and dynasties now, just because rosters are going to change over like this every year. And Tennessee's actually a best case scenario.
Yes.
Because you're going to bring in one and dones. You're bringing in rentals. Everyone's bringing in rentals. You just got to find the best rentals to bring in.
And honestly, I don't know why Tennessee isn't the hottest spot to look for transfers. Because you look, the last 3 years now, they have had the SEC Newcomer of the Year. When you had Dalton Connect, you had Chaz Lanier, and you had Jacoby Gillespie this past season. Listen, if you're a transfer and you're wanting to have your one last, hoorah, I think Tennessee's the spot for you.
Yeah, and to some news, Mike, I thought I would never, ever utter in my life. Iowa will have to vacate 4 victories from the 2023 season for tampering with quarterback Cade McNamara before he entered the transfer portal. The NCAA announced Tuesday. NCAA said that Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz and assistant Joe Berdemeyer, I don't even care if I'm saying that wrong, participated in 13 phone calls with McNamara and sent 2 text messages prior to him entering the portal in November 2022. McNamara left Michigan a few days later and transferred to Iowa. Both Ferentz and Berdemeyer were suspended for the 2024 season opener, and a school-imposed penalty for the violations. So it doesn't say which ones they're vacating, but they're vacating 4 wins.
I think it was the 4 he played in before he got injured, so I believe just the first 4 games of the season.
Which are the most Iowa football games ever.
Yeah, like you said, kind of surprising. I had read something this morning that there was a possibility there was going to be a tampering case coming out of Iowa, and I immediately thought what I said to you earlier, that it would be the Caden Proctor situation with him, going back and forth from Alabama. It reminds me of when Tennessee got in trouble the COVID season, and for all their violations, and you went 2-8 that year, and you're like, okay, we cheated and you didn't even get anything out of it. And nothing against Cade McNamara. I think he's been I actually liked him more than J.J. McCarthy at Michigan, but
he just ended his career at ETSU, didn't he?
Yeah, that kind of tells you all you need to know there. Cade McNamara is not the player that you would want to have to vacate wins over.
Right, exactly. And again, and it always goes back to my favorite 30 for 30 Pony Excess, when they asked the reporter from the Dallas Morning News, like, hey, if you give SMU credit for one thing, at least they bought players that could play.
Exactly. I would say SMU in the late 70s, early 80s was an absolute machine, and I would say at least when they cheated, they won.
And their head coach has one of the greatest sayings of all time: "Don't tell me about the labor, show me the baby."
Yep.
Like, that's how I feel about every time I hear a coach goes, "Well, you guys aren't in the locker room. You don't know the work that goes into this." Nuh-uh. Don't tell me about the labor. Show me the baby.
Yep.
Yeah. And my wife had a C-section, so I'm just kidding. That's awful. That's bad of me. To some crazy news out of the NFL. I don't know if you've seen this, Mike, but it looks like we have got a situation with Diana Rossini of The Athletic, formerly of ESPN, and Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. The two were photographed together at a exclusive adults and couples only resort 2 hours away from Phoenix, Arizona, in the Sedona. The New York Post released all these photos. They asked witnesses. They said there are only 2 ones there. Vrabel said his statement was basically like, this photo isn't what it seems. Anything outside of that's laughable. Rossini said there were 6 others there. Witness reports say that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's just you two. They have pictures hugging, pictures in hot tubs, half naked.
Yep.
And the interlocking fingers picture. And now
that's... Yeah.
Rossini's been suspended. The Athletic is investigating her, and Mike Vrabel is not allowed at all to do any press conferences or talk anything about the NFL draft coming up.
I think that's an apt punishment. I mean, one of the first things they taught us, was to be friendly with coaches, don't be friends with coaches, because it gets you in trouble like this. Obviously, don't know their marital situations, but it's sketchy when you go. It's like, hey, let's head out of town a couple hours, go to this nice little resort, and why? Everybody has phones nowadays. This isn't 30 years ago when you could sneak off and do something for a weekend and nobody would ever know. Everybody has phones, and if you see Mike Vrabel somewhere in Arizona with a pretty-looking lady, you're going to take a picture of it.
Especially if it's an NFL insider who, by the way, is breaking. She used to work here in Nashville. And kind of a side note, when I first moved here, I got some friends that work in Nashville media, and like, oh, man, it's awesome to be here. Are you going to cover any of the Titans? And I said, probably not, just mainly high school and college. And like, okay, good, because if you try to break any Titans news, Diana Rossini beats everybody. Like, that's really strange. And then this sort of stuff comes out, and you're like, okay, well, that's starting to make a lot of sense.
Puzzle pieces are starting to fit.
Yeah, starting to fit together. And and that brings up the ethical question of, like you said, you can be friendly but not friends.
Yeah.
You can, and some of these insiders, they do hang out with these coaches, but it never crosses a line.
Yes.
There's clearly something going on here. I feel bad for both families involved, his wife and his kids. He's got older kids all in their 20s. She's got 2 young daughters. This does not set a good precedent. And if I hear one more pundit say, well, it's their personal life, they can do what they want. No, you can't. You can't. No, not in today's day and age. And when you're going to ruin families and ruin your professional career over it, it's not just, well, it's your personal business. You handle it how you want to. It's not that way anymore.
Well, for people in the media, your personal life, you don't have a personal life anymore. If you aren't, pretty much, if you're anywhere outside of your house, you're in the public eye.
Yeah.
And everybody, a lot of people are going to have a magnifying glass on you. And, unfortunately, she got caught.
Yeah.
It's kind of just what it boils down to. And like you mentioned, this is something that's going to affect her job, her, personal life. It's going to affect everything. And, it's kind of unfortunate, but it's stuff that you're starting to see a lot of nowadays with social media and phones being everywhere. This stuff's starting to come to the light a lot more frequently.
And I think that was a PI that was hired to take, because those photos look way too good.
Yeah, I was about to say, that wasn't an iPhone 17 or something like that.
They look way too good. And, well, the old saying goes, Mike, what you do in the dark always comes out the light.
Yeah.
And right there.
Yeah, I would say you got a perfect example of it right there.
Yeah, you get play,
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Drive 2 hours away and then tell us, oh, there's 6 other people there. Well, where are they? And again, none of the 6 people have come out the back you want. So there's all of that. Mike, we're getting to cutting time. NHL's playoffs start Saturday. The final games are today. I haven't seen NHL playoff watch here. I'm trying to figure out.
I think the playoff spots are all locked in now. Yeah,
in the East, which my team melted down, and that's a sore subject in my house right now. But everyone's kind of wrapped up there in the East, and it looks like everyone is wrapped up in the West as well. Let me take a look at the wild card here. Yeah, in the East is all wrapped up. The West, nope, not wrapped up. Nashville is eliminated, unfortunately, but Utah and the Kings are still alive, and Edmonton and Anaheim, all of them are. Well, actually, no, they're all wrapped up as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, forget whatever I said right there. So they're all wrapped up, and I think they're playing for playoff positioning right now. So these are going to be big games. I think final day of the regular season is tonight. In the NBA, they got a little bit longer to go. Actually, Detroit looks like they're done.
Yeah, but say we're coming up on games 80, 81.
Oh, that's right. We're playing games. Yeah, I think all of them. Most of them. Yeah, all of them are done. Wow.
Yeah, so I would say we do have play-in games starting tonight.
So, that's right. Eastern Conference, 76ers, Heat, Magic, Hornets. In the West, you got the Suns and Golden State, and Portland and the Clippers. So, the lovely play.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the play-in. I mean, I already thought the NBA playoffs with the normal setup that was already more than half of the teams making the playoffs, and now you throw in 4 more for the play-in, and now what is it? Everybody but the top 10 or the bottom 10 making the playoffs, and I feel like there's not much rewarding making the playoffs if you're just hey, we're in the top 2/3.
Yeah, you win 2 games and you're in.
Because you look at
in case you win 1 game and you're in.
And you look at these teams at the bottom. I mean, it's teams that have had some severe what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to tank. Yes, I would say you had the Utahs and the Wizards and the Nets, the teams like that. Like if the Milwaukee Bucks made the playoffs this year at 32-50, and they were 4 or 5 games out, I mean that's just bad. I mean you have the Golden State Warriors right now in the playoffs at 37-45. Yeah. Everyone in the East has a winning record, but you have.
You can argue the East is normally it's the other way around. But I think in the West it's more top heavy, where the East is just more balanced.
Yeah, I would say the East. I mean, between the 1 seed and the 10 seed is 60 wins versus 43. You look at the West, it's 64-37. So a lot more difference. 27 games. Yeah. So a huge disparity right there. But again, in the West, you have Oklahoma who won 64 games. You have San Antonio won 62 games. Yeah. In the East, the only 60-win team was the Pistons.
Yeah. So.
And to tell you, and honestly, it feels like the East is a little weak. Boston's in second place, and
they just got Jason
Tatum back.
Which they're going to be dangerous, but Charlotte's dangerous. Detroit, they're going to bad boy you, try to beat you up. So we'll see how all this plays out. NHL, the playing games start tonight. NHL playoffs start on Saturday. So it's time. We've gotten through the Final Four. We've gone through the Masters. Baseball is starting. We're playing games, and now this. And the one thing tells you spring's really around, Mike. It's Wrestlemania.
Oh yeah.
So we only got one more time. We're going to talk about it on Thursday as well. But thoughts on Raw last night and what they were building there.
I mean, I don't think I've been as hyped for a fight as I am that's not going to be a main event that I am for Oba and Brock. I mean, they both killed it last night.
TV as well.
They killed it last night. I would say I think that ladder match is going to be fun. The Intercontinental ladder match is going to be fun. I honestly feel like last night didn't, for me at least, and I was 90% asleep watching the main event or the last segment.
I was too.
But I really didn't feel like the Punk versus Roman promo didn't.
It was weird.
It didn't add much.
It was weird. Like he's apologizing, but like giving backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
Like the dude, like this is your last Raw before WrestleMania. Get in his face, call him a scumbag, make fun of his family.
Yes.
Like do something. Like Romo's promo to kind of start things off, or they just played a bunch of clips. Okay, that's good. I want to see how Punk answers it. And then he's like, I'm sorry I said this. Sorry I said that. Sorry you got the main event this. Sorry you got the main event that. It's like
what? Yeah, I would say.
That's the best you can do.
I really do think that we are kind of setting up for a big storyline heading into the summer. I really do think we're going to get a kind of WWE versus TKO kind of thing, because there was a lot of Roman saying "we" last night, standing out there alone, and he wasn't talking about his family.
Right.
But I still am extremely excited for that fight, and a lot of the women's stuff is actually on Raw, like the Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Fuff. That stuff's great.
The Jade, the Rhea, they're kind of bouncing back from Raw and SmackDown. I just can't wait till I'm praying they get that belt.
Yeah, and nothing against her, but she's not.
Green,
yeah,
she's young. She's not showing any improvement. Give it to someone who can carry.
Yes. Yeah, I would say, because you look at the women's Intercontinental thing with Becky Lynch, made that title feel big. And you can do the same thing with the women's Undisputed Championship if you put it on Rhea. I mean, she's kind of your Superman, so to speak. Put it on her, start a feud with Charlotte Flair, we'll be fine again.
Exactly. And, again, Cody and Pat and that whole thing, that's just
feels weird. I'm hoping.
That's so wild.
Yeah, I'm hoping they get that solved and figured out where it's not another Travis Scott event like we had last year, because I mean, that left such a sour taste in people's mouth that people think as a whole WrestleMania 41 wasn't good, which isn't true.
No.
Everything up to that point was great.
Yeah, good matches, really good matches. Some good builds, some upset wins. Like a lot of people, that the three-way between Seth, Punk, and Roman.
That was awesome.
The best match of WrestleMania. Like that was incredible. Those guys knocked it out of the park, and then you get this, whatever that was, with Travis Scott. It was just weird.
Yeah, and I did find it kind of funny, the little promo they did last night with Dominic Mysterio and Adam Pearce. And he's like, listen, I signed up to fight Finn Balor. Who's this demon guy, you know?
Like you don't know who the demon is?
Yeah. It's like he told me he killed the demon, blah, blah, blah. So,
get this 80s wannabe, music video star off my screen.
And speaking of music video, the Liv Morgan song, not great.
No.
Not great. And listen, I there's some not great songs that I will sit there and listen to. That's not going to be one of them.
Me either. Maybe for hilarity of like, man, someone really thought this was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
final thought, I still think Seth Rollins and Gunther is going to be. It's going to be a great match.
And I think the Intercontinental title match might be right behind.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical about Oba and Brock. I want to see how it starts. Just because it's
I would say I don't want it to be like a 20-second match, but it also doesn't need to be like a 20-minute, like, let's kill both of these guys kind of thing.
And as an LA Knight guy, I just want to see ISHO Speed's head taken off, like Braun Breaker-esque. Get this guy concussion, make him rethink ever joining WWE ever again. Just get him off my screen.
Oh, hey, they love him for the clicks. That's about it. But listen, he took a huge spear in the Royal Rumble last year. I think that has earned him a spot in this match. Let him take the pin.
He needs a BFT the hard
Yes.
Slammed on his head, reset him back to factory settings.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, that will do it for X Sports Live today. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll take a deeper look. We'll do predictions.
Yeah.
For WrestleMania, we'll take a look at everything going on in the playoffs and the district tournament picture. Going to get you a little bit clearer with just a week left in the regular season. Plus, Lawrence County baseball plays Summertown and Loretto this weekend. So we'll take a look at all of that. So for Michael Marks, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys on Thursday.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.